My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I am Arakhiraladirthan, the head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to Divide and Conquer's beginning on the Woodland Realm. The Woodland Realm. In the last episode, we captured and then sold these two provinces here to Dale in an attempt to bring them into our war with Rune, which will soon flare up properly, as the Dorwinian has fallen, essentially. And so we've allowed Dale to get a bit more involved, tried to give them an upper hand, because otherwise we're going to be swamped. We are being besieged in the city, or rather the town of Dorthalu. And the question that I've been asked a million times, Dol rename it Amun Lank, rename it Amun Lank. I know something about Lord of the Rings, it's called Amun Lank, rename it Amun Lank. Well, no, I'm not going to rename it Amun Lank because, and as I've said in comments, I'll say this again, Amun Lank means naked hill, as in hill with no trees. However, well, it literally does mean naked hill, as in there's nothing on the hill. However, now there is a big F-off fortress on top of the hill, and Amun Lank would no longer thematically work. So I've settled on, I'm going to call it the Hill of Tears, or the Tear Hill. Not that many people have particularly died here, but it's just a name that I like. So we're going to call it Amun Nir. Assuming that works, yes it does. Amun Nir means tear or weeping hill. And that's what we're going to settle on. And it's the same, I know this isn't the Gondor video, but Minas Morgul, I am 100% aware that Minas Morgul used to be called Minas Ithil. No Lord of the Rings fan worth their salt does not know that. But I'm not going to call it Minas Ithil anymore, because that name was given to it at a time when it had glory and power, and it reflected Minas Anor, the Tower of the Sun. When Osgiliath was the capital, the stars in the middle of the sun and the moon, and it was a time lost to Gondor now. Never again will Minas Morgul be able to be as pure and as clean as it was when it was Minas Ithil. Too much sadness, sorrow, and death has come out of that city for us to ever call it that name again. Which is why I called it Baradina Nen, the Tower of the Fallen. For despite Minas meaning city, Minas Morgul is essentially a tower. So Barad Morgul would have been better, but Minas Anor and Minas Ithil, they were counterparts, and now Minas Tirith and Minas Morgul are counterparts. And in that same vein, Minas Tirith would not be returned to the Tower of the Sun, because it would then be almost a dampening of the memory of what Minas Tirith stood for. It stood for this defiance. It was this counterpart to Minas Morgul, the antithesis, if that's the word I mean, to Minas Morgul. Minas Morgul was dread, and Minas Tirith was defense, guarding the west from the terror of the east. And to rename it to Minas Anor just because that terror has passed is almost doing it a disservice. So I'm not going to rename Minas Tirith to Minas Anor, and you're well aware to keep telling me to, and I good for you. You know that it used to be called Minas Anor. Now I may be being more cynical than I actually need to be, but I unfortunately do see things like that as ways for people to just be like, hey, I know something. And I'm going to try and weave it into conversation, like jam fist it into conversation. Crowbar it in rather. And of course, if that may just be me being overly cynical because I'm a bit miffed today, and that's all. Our personalities flux, do they not? Yaguf is attacking us. Trash army as usual. The usual crap from Dol Guldur that won't do anything but die under the constant arrow fire we're about to send their way.
Evil must not be allowed to
so if I am being cynical, I apologise. And if you do genuinely think I should call it Minas Anor without putting any thought behind the name, then fair. But so far, the only people who've really given thought into it, and I'm never going to be able to pronounce your name because in English we don't have umlauts over the O's. So I'm going to say it as if there are no umlauts. And someone called Hotho Ploink, or is it Ploik? I can never remember. He gave various suggestions of what might be fitting renames for places like Dol Guldur, Minas Morgul, Minas Tirith. But those of you who just constantly scream at me to change it back to Minas Anor, it's just not going to happen, I'm afraid. So now that that's out of the way, one thing I did want to suggest, and I should have said first, so I apologise for that, is that the Brotherhood of the Swan, the Steam group, and now the Discord group that we use frequently to play Age of Empires and indeed other games, has now spawned, dare I say, a challenger to my great and esteemed YouTube power. No, I jest. I heartily supported his venturing into YouTube. But Arveduim, a gentleman who plays many games with us over in the group, he plays with his Swotal friends a little bit too much for my liking, but there we are. But he plays games with us in the Brotherhood of Swan, and he has popped up a few videos onto YouTube, or I believe his first video, in fact, actually, onto YouTube of some people in the group playing Age of Empires. Now, I have watched so far about 10 minutes, because he put it up this very day. That's a lie. You watch this today after I record it. He put it up yesterday. And I started recording. I needed to start recording almost straight away, so I've only been able to watch about 10 minutes. But what I've seen thus far, I've really enjoyed, and I do genuinely mean that. I'm not just plugging him just for the sake of plugging him. I've genuinely enjoyed it. I've always thoroughly believed in only plugging YouTubers who you actually like and watch. So sometimes family connections can get in the way, and you might do something because a family member's doing it, and then you kind of pressured into doing it. But with supporting anything on YouTube, I only tend to support those who I genuinely watch myself, which is why I've been harking on about Big Fellow so much, because I'm an avid fan of his. Oh, we can't station anyone anywhere. Oh, it's because I'm rambling on. But Arveduim has started this Little Age of Empires channel. I heartily support and agree with it, and I very much recommend... Oh no, those archers are in a good position over there. That you all check it out. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. And I believe the only thing, actually. I don't think I've got anything else to say. Catapult, that's probably a good position. You can fire into them as they come in. Right, cavalry, I've already moved you out of the way, haven't I? So we'll group you up. Javelins. They're most likely going to be coming down the middle here, I would have thought. Why we can't place them again is just an absolute nightmare. I'm tempted to just leave it and we'll just move them all in a minute. They're not going to bother using their siege equipment, I wouldn't have thought. They'll drop it straight away and run through the two gaps that are present, which means they're going to be coming from the two sides. So we want to, of course, protect our siege equipment at all costs, because that will be probably prove quite effective, I should hope. So put them on that side. Put the 24 of you to go with them. I know you're not meant to be used defensively. In fact, let's try and use you a bit flankingly. Put in some of them over there. Oh, just move there for now then, you stupid buggers. You go there too. I apologise for my somewhat irritants, and I'm loath to even speak of it, to be honest, because many of you will just laugh, because the only reason I'm so annoyed is because the bloody barristers today just did not leave the court building, and we were there until literally the security of the court told us the building was being closed and we had to get kicked out. Now, I can appreciate that when I tell you that my working day was actually only 9 to 5:40, that's a standard working day, and I can appreciate that. But being a court usher, a standard working day is 9 till 3:30. So for my normal day, that was actually a full 2 hours later than I would normally finish work. And it's only annoyed me so much because I had things that I wanted to do this evening, and then they're all thrown out of the window because some barristers just couldn't finish talking. Always the way. It's a profession I want to go into, but I don't actually want to be a barrister. I'd rather be a solicitor. And they tend to be a lot quicker because they know what's good for them. Right, we're in. Barristers tend to come from far away, so they're never normally bothered if they stay late because they tend to have to get trains and things like that to get back anyway, so to them, meh. But solicitors normally live quite near to the court, and so for them it's always a bit more important. And also, additionally, barristers tend to only take a single case a day, so they would have come up from their chambers in London, mostly a lot of them from the Inns of Court in London. This is where many of them are stationed. And they would have come up. They would have then been at the court for however long they're at the court. Sometimes they're only half an hour. Sometimes they're, like today, they're there for 3 hours. And then that's it. Then they'll go home. Now, obviously, they would have done a lot of reading in the morning or things like that. But essentially, they just do a case a day. It's very rare that they do more than one. Whereas a solicitor will be at work, doing normal work, assisting other clients, other colleagues, maybe even having interviews with clients. But then they would then come to the court for as long as they need to, but then they'd go back to the office. So every wasted moment at the court for a solicitor is time wasted. But for a barrister, it's not, because barristers have a fixed fee. Regardless of how long or short they're at the court for, they're paid per day. So if you need them even for 20 minutes, you pay them for a day. That's why it's so expensive and so much money in being a barrister. But a solicitor will, every minute that's lost is a minute they're not working on another client file or another case file. So they're always very keen to get back. Now, I appreciate you didn't ask about that, but I thought I'd tell you anyway, because this is a wonderful opportunity to vent my frustrations. And to explain to you a little bit about the English legal system works, because I'm aware that barristers and solicitors are a very English thing. For example, in America, you just have lawyers. And that's it, they do everything. But here we have different classes. That was an outrageous kill. 5% of them have fallen already. I'm counting mostly here on us succeeding purely because we're just better than orcs.
The walls are no longer ours.
Getting
The
some
enemy have
great
taken
kills there. That's an outrageous death streak. I don't want them firing at will because then they'll start shooting our men. Oh, I didn't move you into position, did I? Bugger. Quickly, quickly, turn around before they make good on my error. All of you can be flankers if they're not going to bother with you. Oh, a little bit lower and that would have been amazing. It's a shame you can't tell them to fire in a specific region like you can in the later games. Because if they could just fire, aim for that gap in the wall there, then we're golden. Try and hit those Mirkwood Hunters, actually. But at the moment, we can't get that, so it's not. Right, I don't actually want you guys on defense, so all push out. Likewise, if you guys come out of defense, and then at least you'll get that sort of aggression. Our archers are full firing at will, I hope. Yes, they are. So, to sum up, do go and check out Arveduim. I do apologise for my cynicism and my somewhat rage-induced introduction and startup. Another thing I was going to talk about is, with the next two factions, there's going to be a faction vote. But obviously it's not going to come until these campaigns end. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to vote for the good nation first. And then whoever wins that, whichever good nation is selected, I will remove all of the evil nations from that area for the evil nation vote. Those are such good kills. Oh, that was so cool, that shot. So, for example, let's say Bree were to win the good faction vote. Then I would take away Dunland, Angmar, that's about it really, isn't it? Dunland and Angmar from the evil side, because otherwise we'd be fighting in the same arena. And that's what I don't want to take. Or a better example of this would be if Dol Amroth were to win, I would remove Umbar, Harad, and Mordor from the vote, because we'd then be two campaigns in the same location. Oh, that's another cool one. The beams they leave behind are really cool. Those catapults are really doing well. Siege defense catapults. What? And look at that. It's turning into just Death Alley. 41% of the enemy has died. I'm surprised they're not breaking at the Holocaust level death toll we're bringing on them here. Holocaust has become very much a kind of word on its own, isn't it? Like you could just say like the Holocaust we are bringing down upon them, as if it's a doing word, as if it's a verb. But then I don't actually know what the literal meaning of it is. Does it just mean a large number of deaths in a maybe a short period of time or something? But look at that. That is absolutely outrageous, those kills tallies. Oh, and another who stood against us falls. The game hasn't even caught up how many of them have died. It doesn't even blink, it just takes them away. Go on, give me another one. Yes! I would not be standing in that gateway if I was them any longer. Almost all of those last hits were good. We killed almost 56% of them, and I would not be surprised if most of those kills are coming from the catapults. Oh, they've only got their last bolts left.
The battle seems to be swinging in our favour.
But he did well with it.
Such tidings does victory emerge.
Well done, sir. Well done. I hope to, no promises as ever, but I do hope to bring you the lore video that has long been coming. And that I'm hoping to bring to you on Monday next week. So, because I want to try and keep the faction overview videos to every Sunday. So I don't want to knock that back a slot, but I'm happy to knock the campaigns throughout the week back a slot. So I'm hoping to bring you the lore video on next Monday. I'm also hoping to do the Age of Empires videos kind of one every 2 weeks, because I do enjoy doing them a lot and we're playing it a lot, so I'll do that. But I don't want to add them to the schedule, so we won't go to 6 videos a week. But every couple of weeks, maybe every 3 weeks, I'll do an Age of Empires video. And I was talking to Wolferson, one of the frequent commenters in the comments, and the stainless steel campaign, if I wait until we finish with the overviews, and as he quite rightly pointed out, they're not going to be done until like June or something. So stainless steel can't wait for the overviews to finish. So instead, my plan with stainless steel is to either A, just pick it up and just suck it up and do 6 videos a week instead of 5, or B, wait until the first campaign ends, which is very likely to be the Dwarves of Khazad-dûm. Wait until the Dwarven campaign ends, and then replace it with the ending of stainless steel. Because I don't want to lose stainless steel. I don't want something of a mark of my channel to be that none of my campaigns ever conclude. So I do want to see it through, and it's just at the moment finding a time and a place. Because whilst I can appreciate these videos only do take half an hour to film, at most an hour, it does drain you in a sort of strange way. Your mind, you get used to it after time, but your mind is almost constantly searching for something to discuss, because at the end of the day, if I don't speak, then what the hell is the point of watching it? You're watching a random person play a game. And whilst I can appreciate that there are channels that actually do that, and many people probably do subscribe to them, and it does show you raw gameplay, this game is a little bit too old to just have raw gameplay with no description. So you're always constantly thinking of something to say. So it's rare that I ever do 2 recordings in one day, because you almost use up all of your topical references, and you end up just mumbling about what's happening in the video. And I do watch back a lot of my videos, and my standard, my test, is whether or not I have found the video entertaining. And if I don't find it entertaining, then I'm concerned that you would not as well. So the main achievement here is to find myself entertaining, so for then you to find me entertaining as well. And in order to do that, the sort of mumbling episodes where I do nothing but just say, like, oh, he's gone down, oh, they're fighting well, those ones I always am worried that people are going to find dull. So when you do actually find them enjoyable, I always find it a bit of a surprise. But there we are. That's just another little bit about YouTube for you. Also, I noticed recently, just talking about YouTube, because it's something I don't actually use, if you lived in America, Japan and Australia, they had the support button, and you could directly give money to people on YouTube through the support feature on the right. And this was only brought to my attention because in the UK this has never been a thing. However, PewDiePie, who I am subscribed to and do watch, feel free to judge me, he the other day got the support button. And for those of you that may not know, he lives in Brighton, which is in England. Apparently the YouTube capital of England as well. Alfie Days and Zoella both live in Brighton. And now so does PewDiePie and Marzia. So he got the support button. That made me think, oh, I wonder if it's rolling out to England. So then I looked into it, and I discovered that instead of rolling it out to England, they're doing away with the support button completely, and they're bringing in a feature called Super Chat. And this I don't use because I don't live stream. But apparently, and it seems like a really cheesy way to get people's money, I'm not sure I would agree with it. But basically, when you're watching a live stream, you comment, don't you? You comment live, and it just rolls up the side with your comments, and everyone then gets to see it. But the Super Chat feature allows you to pay money to support your comment so that it will be highlighted and shown for longer, so there's more chance the YouTuber will see it and then answer it. And this is apparently because their support button used to only really see use when people were live streaming. So they've tried to kind of twig the support button a bit more so that it has a bit more of effect on live streams. And this is their solution. This is what they've come up with. So if you want your comment to get recognition, you can pay money. And I would therefore assume, by extension, the more money you pay, the more time your comment is featured and your comment's likely to be seen and answered. And that's their solution to their support button not getting as much use. So there won't ever be a support feature, but then there's the Patreon thing that we set up the other day, as I said, and true to word, other than just then, I've not mentioned it since I set it up, and that will always stay the way. And I thank you to all of those who did send along some money. That was most welcome and never asked for, but graciously received, and I thank you all very much. But so the support button's going, and Super Chat is coming in, so there's some YouTube updating info for you. Additionally, we're still making quite a lot of headway with the old subscribers. I mean, I keep seeing rumours that YouTube are doing another cull, so I'm probably going to lose about 1,000 subscribers one of these days when they get rid of a load more bots and spammers and stuff. But it's the same for everyone, as everyone's marker, as we all know, again, is PewDiePie. And if he loses about 250,000 subscribers, then you know that YouTube's doing a cull. And there seems to be rumours that that's either happened or happening of late, so that may well come to fruition. But otherwise, we're almost cracking 17,000, so we're doing remarkably well. Remarkably well indeed. What I'm really tempted to do, and what I want to do now, is download Third Age Reforged to get that set up, because I'm pretty sure it's available at the moment. And I'd like to start doing, in the Brotherhood of the Swan, I'd like to start doing some multiplayer games of that, to be honest. But then I think because I mod this game, and I YouTube this game, and I even still sometimes play this game, even in my own spare time, I probably am a bit too... It'd be asking maybe too much to then also play multiplayer for it. I'm not good enough for multiplayer. It's always been my problem as well. I played a few games with Ngugi, the leader of the DCI mod, and he pretty much beat me every time. What are our stats now? We're going to lose about 20% by the time the battle has ended, but the general's in there somewhere. Did I send the cavalry out in the end? Oh, they're not going to go out that way. They're going to come through. Because I was going to run down some of their retreating
Good
units.
tidings. The enemy general
Ah,
lies
there he
dead.
goes. He's died. Surely they're going to break now.
Behold how our cowardly
go, it's all
foe
over.
runs.
Capture what you
It's
can.
time to press the attack.
Well, at least 99%. There we are.
Our foe
Heroic
is
victory,
utterly
as
vanquished.
expected. King Thranduil the
And all
Mighty
who
and his
remember this
groaning and
day,
moaning commander,
remember it
myself,
as the day
have
of our
managed
most glorious victory.
a glorious victory. 199 soldiers have paid with their lives to stay. But 3,804 orcs have fallen to our blades, and the catapults killed 852. The first golden rock that we can hand out goes to an elven catapult. 852. That's almost a quarter of their total army. That's half of 38. 16. No. 19. 19. And half of that is 8.5. And he killed 852. That is bang on. That's pretty much bang on a quarter. Well done, Catapult. We've just shown Dol Guldur that no matter how large their army is, they can't beat us. And hopefully they'll send that lesson and that message back to their leader. Ah, Dea Mythor has got Gallus Riniel. Bride presented. The biggest thing that I get wrong with the Sindarin, and one of the main reasons why I'd never want to do tips and a video on it, is the laws around stresses. There's certain laws around which parts of the word you stress in when you're reading Sindarin. So much so that even me saying Sindarin is potentially wrong. Apparently it's meant to be pronounced totally differently with a stress elsewhere, and I get it wrong every time. But those stresses and things are the kind of noise changes that you'd get by just having regional accents, as I've said before. So in the same way that I say Bath and someone from the north says Bath, it's like it's a minor difference, but both ways are correct. There's not a wrong way. And the stresses are the things that you can get wrong. So, for example, that elven general's name was bloody lengthy, Dea Mythor. And where the stress goes in that, I mean, I've written it down before and I've read it before, but it's gone from my mind. And there's a certain one of those, either the two diphthongs, the AE, or the O, is where the stress would go, because it always goes on the vowels. And but I don't know where it would go. And if I did a video about Sindarin, it would just get torn to shreds by those the fans that we all know are out there, the holier than thou people. And I suppose even now, with my reasonable YouTube power, I suppose 17,000-ish is nothing to scoff at, given the numerous amounts of YouTubers there are. I mean, I'm well aware that I'm doing pretty damned well for just for someone who never got into this thinking it would go anywhere other than just sell DaC. But even with my reasonable power, I'm still reticent to do certain videos for fear that I'm just going to be laughed out of the room. Which is why writing Sindarin is so much easier than talking it, because you don't have to pay attention to any of those rules. Any of the speaking rules. Our army that we're preparing in Thranduil's halls appears to be ready. One more turn. Now they can take 3 turns, 2 turns. With the scouts, 2 more turns. Because we could do more archers. It's not very archer heavy at all, is it? We are an archer nation. So we're training a unit of archers, so that'll be ready in 2 turns. Yeah, well, we might as well take some more if we've got the money for them. Nothing takes 1 turn though, so... Ah, but you're going to go down in a turn, aren't you? So if you get rid of one of them, get rid of both of them, in fact. Chuck in another unit of those. They'll go down. These will all go down to 1. They'll all go down to 1. I don't know, because I'm probably going to take them with me, to be honest. So I think what I would rather do... We'll come back when we're at the end, because that's the way to make those things work. I don't think we actually need to do anything else. Amunir is building our Valiant Council Hall. As I've never been sure on the Valiant. I don't know if it's Valian or Valarian, but I thought it was Valian. But it may well be Valarian. But Valarian doesn't, I don't think, sounds as good.
Sire,
Who knows?
we will need that one.
Build watchtowers.
Come, my brothers.
We're safe for a little while. They're not going to be doing anything in the short term. We just killed a huge army. So
Come, my brothers.
we don't need all 3 of you at the moment.
Scout the area. My lord.
Alright, Erudragian. Is that your name? Erudragrian.
Approaching quietly.
Erudagrian. 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 Always an R, never an A sound. Erudagrian. Head to Dornor, because that's our main threat now. Excuse me, just having a drink. Ah, Togrul the Scarred, limping out of Dol Guldur back to Khand. I think we're at an end turn. So let's go up here and do what we were going to do. So remove those two at the end there and retrain our archers. And enter. Was I talking about something that I lost a thread of just then, or are we all set? No, I think we're all set. Frequently do that. Just lose track of what you're saying. Just start babbling. Just start talking nonsense. Oh, come on, Dol Guldur. You're attacking our minor elves. You didn't kill any. You didn't kill any. Why was I sending them away anyway? Where were they going? I know I was sending them into the fort, but I can't remember for what reason. I bet they want peace.
Despite your honorless antics,
What?
we would speak with you this day.
No. Why were you don't have the power to attack us, and you're very generous for a ceasefire. So how about instead of that, you give me $1,000 for trade rights, map information, and ceasefire.
The answer
never
I'm
done
most
that.
willing to hear you out further.
I want 100 over 6 turns then, and then map information. Yeah, that'll do. I'm not bothered about the money. We're
Very
doing
well.
all right for money.
You bring words with meaning.
But there's no point having an enemy for no reason. Oh, Afghan got both Morgul and Girithungol. Oh no, Mordor have. But they have got Ostithil. Oh yeah, the little things don't show up. Oh, that was written by Travis in one of the posts on Total War Center. Don't worry about that. That's me just jabbering. Look at these buggers. Even when they're dead, they're still trying to go through and take Dale. They've got 3 provinces left. 3! And now Lothlorien are joining in. Come on, Lorien. Pick up the slack where I have failed. Well, we might as well move out. No point resting on our laurels. Now we've just defeated that massive army. So leave behind some of our weaker components.
Onward, sire. Scout the area. By the light of Elbereth. Engage.
Head off the Bear Southeast.
Elves,
We
we
leave
must
behind
give up
the
the road.
battering ram.
Follow me. My lord. Elves.
Oh, the battering ram can even move still further. So who's the one that's slowing us down the most?
Come, my brother. Sire. Scout the area.
Because we move them off like that, we can get there in a turn. And you guys can easily get there in a turn on your own, so we'll split you up like that. Although I think one of you should probably stay behind in case they do come. Ithrenatar, you go. Thraugol, you go with King Trandwell. Because we're in such a prime position now. We're in a really strong position, like a really strong position. That army that we're sending down from the north, which is going to team up with some of the gentlemen coming from here, including Woodland Sentinels, that's good. I'm loath to use those. I don't really like the horse archers. I've used loath like 3 times. Makes it sound like it's the only word I know, doesn't it? I'll tell you what I'll do. You two can stay behind as the defenders and we'll take the lot. So...
Onward.
Oh no, what a bad way to go. Is that a bad way to go? No, they've got better roads than we have. That's actually a faster route than going through the jungle. Through the jungle? Through the forest. Do you have movement rights with Anduin though? They have military access. They're not going to like me walking through.
Yes, my lord.
See if we can get it.
Approaching their
No,
dignitary.
it won't make any difference. They won't attack us, we're
Tomorrow's journey
allies.
planned out.
Oh, there's a little army in Dor Lingvar as well though.
Elves.
Just trying to get out of Dale's lands, to be honest. Oh, Dor Lingvar not only has a little army, but can train some more to support it. Oh, but we are losing money, so it's key to take Bear South as soon. Because that army would just... Now all of that is now affecting our income. We need to get on it. But I think this is a little shorter than usual, but that's a cracking point to stop, I think. Or we could probably go one more turn. We'll go one more turn. Just hoping we don't get attacked. If we do get attacked, I will save it and end it. If we don't get attacked, we'll do the setup for the next turn. Dol Guldur. What will Dol Guldur do? Dol Guldur. I listened to a recording of excuse me, sorry, I normally turn it off when I cough. Tolkien reading aloud the Ring script, and the amount of rolling he puts on the R's of Mordor is outrageous. Caunwaithian, Caunwaithyn, and Meldamiri. Meldamiri. No, it would be Miri A if there were 2 dots over that E. But because there aren't, it's Meldamiri. Or Mirai, I believe. Possibly. Oh,
Come, my brother.
my language escapes me.
Engage.
Right, well, they know we're coming, so
By the light of Elbereth.
No need to
Join elves.
assist them in
Scout
any
the
way.
area.
Just march straight in there. Knock on the door. How you doing, lads? I'm really hoping that Lothlorien use this army, because it's mighty powerful, and actually take Akhnodion, because it would save me a world of trouble. But if they don't, then the army that's currently about to walk through Anduin's lands will do it for us instead.
Orders completed.
So either way,
My lord.
Dol Guldur will fall. Oh, bugger.
Have a taste of my
Where's he going with that army? The AI is
My lord.
so stupid, it almost angers you.
Approaching their dignitary.
His nation is down to
shall
3
continue
settlements,
tomorrow.
and he is outmatched on both sides by 2 massively powerful nations and their armies. And yet he's still sending half of his potential military strength. That's probably a quarter of his entire remaining military strength. And he's sending it north on an expedition into Dale's lands. You just want to smack him round the head and tell him how stupid he is. Like, even though that's good for me that army's buggering off and it means I can take these last 3 towns without any trouble, it still angers me that he's doing that. Come back. And the reason is because the AI works on the assumptions of auto-resolve. And Elven armies never do as well as you think they're going to do in auto-resolve. And it would look at this army and think, oh yeah, that's not a threat to us at all. But of course, in actuality, an Elven army walks all over a Guldur army. But the AI can't do anything more than the auto-resolve can tell it. So it doesn't think it's in that much bother. It doesn't think that we're in a really commanding position. But of course, it's about to have his ass kicked. Well and truly. And if Captain Verian can actually do what we're hoping he can do, then it won't even be by us. But I think that is a point where I will end the episode. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. Stay tuned for XYZ, whatever's coming in the next few days. There will be the Khazad-dûm video will go up on Saturday, whereas normally Saturday doesn't have a video. The Khazad-dûm will go up on Saturday, and as I say, the lore video should come out next Monday. And then reasonably normal throughout there. And then Age of Empires, if it does come out, will probably go in on a Saturday. So thank you very much for watching. Do check out Arveduim's channel. Do watch the first video he's posted up and give feedback. Feedback is crucial. Obviously say it in a nice way, constructive criticism. But if you need to critique it in any way, then do. Feedback is absolutely paramount to those of us when we're starting out on YouTube. And after about a year or so, telling someone that their microphone they used a year ago is no longer useful, feedback on videos is always welcome as long as it is constructive and relevant. So do assist Arv, do let him know what you think, and go and check that out. The link, of course, will be in the description below, if I can bloody well remember this time. And I hope you've enjoyed today, despite my being annoyed at an absolutely ridiculous thing, but there we are. Life is life, and we struggle through it. But until we speak again, dear friends, Navar na den pedamad melunin, and farewell.